Hello everyone, I'm Freaky. Welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be reacting to FCC's Apocalypse versus Doomsday. So if you guys haven't seen this video, please go and watch that video first as well. So come back, watch this. That's it. So let's continue. Okay, Apocalypse versus Doomsday. I mean, come on, that's come on, Apocalypse, Doomsday. It's the end of the world, that sort of stuff. Now, when it comes to Doomsday, I know what his powers is. I know what his whole shtick is, but when it comes to Apocalypse, I just don't. I just don't know what his powers are. I mean, yeah, I saw it on Death Ball, but I completely forgot what it was. I mean, that's how forgettable his powers are. I mean, for someone called Apocalypse, you would have thought he would have been like the end all of end alls when it comes to his powers. And I mean, yeah, when it comes to the Phoenix Force, I mean, come on, it's the freaking Phoenix Force. And when it comes to let me think, X-Men. There's there's Magneto. You can do Metal, Scarlet Witch, the Blob. That sort of stuff. I mean, they're memorable, but for the life of me, I just don't know what Apocalypse's powers are. That's how forgettable he is to me. With the others, I mean, I know what they are, but when it comes to Apocalypse, I just don't know. I mean, I didn't even get the chance to actually watch him in X-Men Evolution, sadly. So this video will give me an history lesson on like how powerful is. So without further ado, let's get to watching. So this is FCC's Apocalypse versus Doomsday, and 3, 2, 1, and go. Sure, co-host and host.
Being a social outcast is truly a terrible curse to have. Whether it's because you're ugly or have issues, it's truly an awful thing to experience.
And it's bad for the rest of the universe when they're angry at the entire universe for their existence. And it's especially bad when they take up names that harbor the end of days.
Apocalypse, the first mutant and nemesis of the X-Men.
And Doomsday, the ever-evolving Goliath who killed the Man of Steel.
He's Demon and I'm Marcher.
And it's our job to analyze them to their fullest, going through their feats and their faults to see what happens when these two fictional characters collide.
The thing is,
imagine this, if you will. What if a baby born 5,000 years ago with blue lips and gray skin would later become one of the most dangerous entities in the universe?
So he's like the first
His
mutant.
mere presence would cause a cataclysmic event in modern times.
Well, if you're unlucky enough to live in the Marvel Universe, then you won't have to imagine it. Zed's gray-skinned baby was born in Aquaba 5,000 years ago. And since he was a freak of nature, he was simply abandoned in the middle of the scorching desert, just like me and my crush at the prom.
Wait, you went to prom?
No.
Why are you like this?
Anyway, back on track. This child was later rescued by a man named Ball of the Sandstormers. Ball named him Sabanur, aka the First One. Ball and his fellow Sandstormers live by the code of survival of the fittest, or the mentality of, if you ain't strong, then you frankly deserve to die.
When Sabanur was a child, he was quite generous and selfless, giving to those who were struggling in life, much to the dismay of Ball. But then a being known as Kang arrived in Egypt and became known as the Pharaoh Rama Tut.
But since Kang came from the terrifying reality known as the 20th century, he knew who Sabanur was destined to become. So he sent an army and his general, Ozymandias, to wipe out the young boy and his fellow Sandstormers. But the young child and Ball fled and found a cave to hide in. Sadly, Ball didn't make it.
But before his death, Ball revealed something to Sabanur, alien tech from beings called Celestials. Swearing revenge on Kong, Sabanur posed as a slave and went to go and kill him. But then he fell in love with General Ozymandias' sister. But sadly, he got cock-blocked due to his appearance.
Outraged by this, Sabanur mutant powers suddenly emerged and began his rampage. He terrorized Egypt, wiping out all who opposed his wrath. But then he used the nifty celestial tech on Ozymandias to turn him into a being of living stone. On that day, Sabanur casted his old name out like his parents did. He became an entity who would go down in history as not as human, but a calamity. His new name was the Apocalypse.
Reborn as Apocalypse and realizing the potential in his powers, He would travel across the globe doing what any rational man would do, conquer everything. He claimed himself as a deity and would casually cause a few wars. He would later go into a centuries-long nap as he let his warlords do the conquering for him. But he would wake up a few times, like in 1859 to learn about his mutant powers, or in 1897 when he teamed up with Helsing himself, the man, not the anime manga, to kill Dracula. Yes, that happened.
To be honest, I'm not that shocked.
You aren't?
Archie, we have seen a petty asshole who time travels just to torment his idol, a sun goddess who looks like a dog, a badass crocodile who's after bananas. Hell, our last Marvel episode was a man who had a parasite from a goddamn space spawn with him. So he could beat his nemesis, who is a man with spider powers.
You know, Damon, that just made me realize how frankly absurd our job is.
Yep.
Anyways, I think I've actually seen. I think I've seen those. I've seen a few of them, but I don't think I've seen like all of them.
Armor. Since he is the first ever mutant, he's superhuman in terms of strength and speed. He's nigh on invulnerable, but his most iconic ability is his biomolecular alteration, which is a fancy way of saying he can control his body like Play-Doh. With his power, he can reshape his body at will, like changing his armor to a big drill, sprouting wings capable of flight, or even turn into a goddamn kaiju.
He also has a damn impressive healing factor, healing from normally deadly blows in a matter of seconds, like the time he, I don't know, being disintegrated by the goddamn Phoenix Force. It also helps him stay immortal, hence why he survived for thousands of years with zero signs of aging. It also helps that he's a genius, being way smarter than what normal humans can even comprehend.
With that big brain of his, he's capable of performing telekinesis, allowing him to fly without wings. And this also protects his mind from psychic attacks, like the time Apocalypse fended off psychic attacks from Professor X, whose psychic powers were comparable to Magneto's, who can mess with the Earth's magnetic field, and I don't know, pulling him to Earth from a whole other galaxy. He's easily able to make robot armies with a mere thought and control them, but his most powerful tool is the Death Seed. With its powers, he's capable of matching the legendary Phoenix Force. Take note of that later.
He can also teleport, create force fields, absorb energy, fire out energy blasts, and control machinery. He also has celestial armor that can take blows from some of the heaviest hitters in the Marvel Universe. Is it really any shock that this man is considered to be one of the greatest threats in the universe? Like at one point, Cable, who at some point in another timeline came to kill Apocalypse, but in doing so, he gave him a biotechnical virus that slowly made his organic side fully robotic.
So what's his power?
So, kinda like robot herpes.
Gross, but kinda? With this technovirus, it more so made him a much more dangerous being than before. Basically making it harder to kill.
When it comes to like Wolverine, he's got like
your target even harder to take out. He's also no slouch in terms of speed.
Metal.
He tags some of Marvel's fastest
Cyclops is a laser gun from
even capable of catching Thor's axe.
It's all simple stuff, but
which easily
I
makes
still don't get with
faster than light
Apocalypse.
when it comes to reaction. And oh boy, in terms of power, he is seriously no joke. He's capable of holding back Hulk, while Hulk was extra pissed off, and even nearly killed a young Thor. Mind you, when Thor was a child, he lifted a book of infinite pages.
One of his most impressive feats was when he was able to fight both Thor and Jane Foster at once. Jane in particular had the absurd power to shake worlds half a universe away. Given how big the Marvel Universe is, she'd have to be striking with 24 exafo of force, which makes Joe and Apocalypse about multi-solar system in terms of power. And that's not even the highest, since Thor is capable of fighting foes who could end the universe on numerous occasions. Also, at any moment, if he so wished, Apocalypse could just nuke all of reality. So, ain't that fun?
It's no wonder that he conquered the whole planet in multiple timelines. But he isn't without weakness. He is cocky and can be full of himself. But granted, with the level of power he got, I don't exactly blame him. As well, he's been beaten by groups before like the X-Men and the Avengers.
But nonetheless, he is still one of the most dangerous beings in the universe. So, next time your city is being ravaged and you stare up at him, remember the name in his face as he makes your whole world into a living apocalypse.
Others will come after you. The world won't stomach your evil forever.
Evil? I am not malevolent. I simply am. Which soon will be more than I can save for you.
Imagine yourself as some weird bug alien on an unknown planet, surrounded by hazardous terrain and everything wants to kill you. So what if you were also a genius and decided to speed up billions upon billions of years of evolution in a matter of decades?
Some may call you insane, but to Burton you would be a scientific genius. Slight issue though, he needed a test subject. So he genetically made a baby, tossed it out of a pod, and watched the ravenous wildlife brutally slaughter the infant and collect what remains. Rinse and repeat.
But unknowingly, he was creating a monster who remembers every single time he died. and then would murder his father without a dash of remorse. Now stranded and alone, the beast wandered the empty planet, slaughtering the creatures who slaughtered it. Until an unknown spacecraft landed on the planet and they snuck into it somehow, I don't know.
And then the spacecraft left the planet, which, by the way, was a primitive Krypton. When the ship landed, the monster escaped and ravaged all who came across him. Then he'd float in space for centuries for another planet to find. Whenever he'd find one, he'd destroy it. Locals across the universe would fear its presence, proclaiming it to be their doomsday.
Doomsday floated around, destroying entire planets in his wrath. He was a remorseless killer, slaughtering trillions in his wake. Until he fell to a planet called Earth, where he ravaged the land until he came across someone, a Kryptonian named Superman. In their clash, the planet shook, and Doomsday did what no other villain ever dreamed of happening. Doomsday has killed the Superman.
Nope. Apparently he put Superman into a super coma, despite the comic being called the death of Superman, but nonetheless the beast had been slain, for now. See, Doomsday's unique biology had made him into one of the most dangerous things to ever exist. Thanks to his genetic makeup, Doomsday became immune to whatever killed him previously. His evolution makeup is so insane that he can literally evolve new powers mid-fight to counter whoever he's fighting at the moment.
So, over time, Doomsday would just keep on dying and evolving, just like the thing that made him on primitive Krypton. So over time, during his multiple battles, he became nigh unkillable, and his rage at Superman was so intense he formed a rivalry with the Man of Steel. Mind you, before Doomsday had fought Superman, he had beat the entire Justice League, literally with one arm tied behind his back. This includes the likes of Batman, Flash, and Wonder Woman. I mean, is this any shock?
Wow.
On one of Doomsday's better days, he literally evaporated an ocean by just existing. Not to mention how he can extend the spikes on his arms to turn anything he dislikes, so everything into a living pincushion. Not to mention that these spikes are also very venomous.
Doomsday is frankly nuts in terms of physical strength. He's obviously matched the likes of Superman before. Mind you, this is the same Superman with a single sneeze messing up a solar system. Hell, Doomsday is one of the few foes Superman refuses to hold back against. Doomsday has even beaten Darkseid in battle before. Now, yes, this was an avatar, but still, a Darkseid avatar can survive a Big Bang.
Now, this isn't just your typical Big Bang. Since the DC universe is quite a bit larger than our own, hell, this ain't even the most batshit insane thing Doomsday has ever done. So one time, Superman had enough of Doomsday's shit and sent him to the Phantom Zone.
By the way, the Phantom Zone is a prison in a higher plane of reality in which Superman holds all of his most dangerous foes, such as General Zod. So thanks to Doomsday's sheer bloodlust and rage against Superman, he... Wait, let me read this again. He what?
He literally punched his way out of the Phantom Zone.
That is absurd even by comic standards.
I'm not
Shut up, this is beyond ludicrous. This is insane. What the
Did not see that coming. I should probably fix this, huh? Better?
Yeah, better.
Besides, if you want utter ludicrousness, then one time Superman survived a big crunch. After the very last black hole disappears from reality, given the size and speed of the DC universe expanding, that would mean Superman and thus Doomsday would be about 481 Nova Medicillion times universal. That many zeros.
Wow.
Which is frankly kind of nuts. Doomsday is also very fast. He's able to tag Barry Allen. You know, the fastest man alive, the guy comparable to Wally West, who can outran people who can teleport.
He does have one weakness.
So you know, that's gotta be insane.
Like how Barry Allen and Wally West once raced and nearly destroyed the multiverse, Doomsday has also a deadly weapon beyond his physical strength and speed. It's a weapon you'd never see coming. His own blood. Yeah, so it turns out if you ingest some of Doomsday's blood or even smell it, over time you become a Doomsday.
Wow.
Like when Superman once killed Doomsday and ingested his blood via the fumes it produced. In less than a week, Superman had turned into Super Doom.
Oh.
And to blow your mind even more, the Doomsday he killed was juvenile, because Doomsday had evolved to reproduce asexually, so there are even more of them out there.
Ooh.
I mean, Doomsday will probably be a better dad than my dad, or my whole family, to be exact.
Why?
Doomsday probably didn't even see his son as a disappointment and threw him out of the house into a never-ending hell of anime clips, comic panels, and angry fans in the comic section.
Okay.
Speaking of which, while Doomsday may look like a mindless hulking beast, but he can actually be smart given he literally lacks a brain and can even speak full sentences on occasion. most of the time, his vocabulary is just more roars and occasional saying doom or day or doomsday when he's feeling really good about it. And once in a blue moon, he can speak full sentences like this one time he gave a cat back to his kid. At least the cat probably has 8 more lives.
And going back to his fights with Superman, he has outmuscled the Man of Steel on numerous occasions. And since it's Superman, he's probably done any insane feat you can think of, and more, probably. He held a black hole, fought another Superman, which nearly ended the multiverse, and even lifted a book of infinite pages. Hey, wait a minute.
You can see details of destruction miles away. Resisted possession from both Deadman and Brainiac. Survive Omega Beams, which not only erase you on a conceptual level, but also harden the fires of Apocalypse. Resisted his soul being removed, adapted to shoot energy attacks back when he fought the Guardians of the Universe and nullify a being's powers. Darkseid even needed to ask Superman for help to just get him off Apocalypse. Christ, on a bloody stick, he sounds borderline invincible.
But Doomsday isn't invincible. He's still not very smart compared to some other beings in the DC universe, due to the fact that he quite literally has no brain, or heart, or lungs. You know, he just has 0 organs in him. And his blind strategy of hit it till it dies has gotten Doomsday a bit over his head on occasion.
But still, let it be known that if a creature with gray skin, green pants, and a razor-sharp spikes appear on your planet, let it be known that you will be facing your Doomsday.
What do you want?
Doomsday.
Same as you, I imagine. Power. Control. But I had to see the best this planet had to offer. I am not impressed.
The combatants are set. Let's finish this.
Will Apocalypse finally put down the Man of Steel's killer
Apocalypse
for
doesn't have a
good?
chance.
Or will Doomsday make Apocalypse doom a living hell?
It's time for these fictional characters to collide.
What's next? Is going to be a character called Ragnarok? I wouldn't be surprised if there would be. Okay. Okay, so he's lying on the floor. Okay. How dare you, pitiful beast. I'm gonna have to look later on exactly what powers are later on. So they're in space now. Oh. Okay. Baby crashes. Okay, now is he quite you now? No. He's done.
I'll be damned. Didn't think Apocalypse could lose. Now at first, this match was ridiculously close. Both Apocalypse and Doomsday were capable of insane feats of power and unkillability. but it was Doomsday who walked away from this bout.
Right. When it came to the arsenal department, Apocalypse was way ahead of good old Doomsday. His biomolecular alterations would allow him to morph his body however he saw fit, meaning he had a lot of options against Doomsday. Plus, in terms of intelligence, it wasn't even close. Apocalypse was out here outsmarting foes like Professor X, while Doomsday was quite literally brainless.
But in terms of everything else, yeah, Doomsday sorta kinda swept this. In terms of speed, both were easily faster than light. Apocalypse could keep up with Jade and Thor, who can move at a quadrillion of times faster than light, which was impressive. To a Flash, it's like running through molasses. Wally can move so fast he can outright instant teleportation, and Thawne has traveled across the entire time stream in a few days.
When it came to pure strength, this was where Doomsday royally had Apocalypse screwed. So remember the whole thing with Superman and the Big Crunch? Well, turns out Nova Centillion is, well, big. How big? Well, it's a 1 followed by 360 zeros. No, I didn't say 36. I said 360. Keep in mind that Superman was, at the time that this happened, was ridiculously weakened. Hell, even weaker than Doomsday originally had killed Superman.
That may be the largest number we ever seen on this show. Hell, even with the depth seed, that wouldn't have been enough to outmuscle this son of a bitch. Because despite it giving you the power of the Phoenix Force, not only does Apocalypse really use this seed for actual battle, but he realistically shouldn't even fully scale to it, unlike some other depth seed wielders like Sentry. Because the Phoenix Force blows anything Apocalypse can do out of the water. And Sentry also was way above the Apocalypse.
Now, none of this wouldn't have mattered if neither could fully put the other down due to the other's borderline immunity to death. Now, on paper, Apocalypse would seem to be the overall better, but the devil's in the details. So say you chop off Apocalypse's head and he simply regenerates from that. And when you chop off Doomsday's head, he also regenerates from that. But Doomsday would become immune to that, making it impossible to slice his head off again. So over time, Apocalypse would have ways of killing Doomsday, but he'd just keep coming back over and over and over again, making it a real uphill battle for Apocalypse. What makes it especially harder is that Doomsday has been killed a boatload of times before, making Apocalypse's ways of killing Doomsday quite limited.
Plus, chopping off Apocalypse's head doesn't make him immune to his head being chopped off. And ironically, Doomsday's weakness of having no brain would actually help him out here, since one of Apocalypse's biggest strengths is his mind powers. No brain means no mind control. But what about the techno-organic virus Apocalypse got from Cable? Well, Doomsday's blood will provide a hard counter to those, since over time it will corrupt even the techno-organic virus. If a Kryptonian like Superman could resist it, why would the virus? Because keep in mind, despite his appearance and overall power, Apocalypse is still just human at the end of the day.
Now, Apocalypse could have nuked all of reality, which has killed Doomsday permanently before, and it required Brainiac to recover Doomsday's remains. But he'd be unlikely to do that before being fully put down by Doomsday. And with Doomsday's sheer strength and speed, it's highly unlikely that would have happened. It's like a Zero versus Shadow situation. Could have Apocalypse won? Yes. But should he have won? No. Plus, even if Apocalypse did nuke reality and killed Doomsday, the Doomsday virus over time would have just turned Apocalypse into a new Doomsday, still making it a drawn-out win for Doomsday, but a win all the same.
Don't get us wrong, both Apocalypse and Doomsday are freaking absurd. We didn't even come close to every single what-the-fuck feat of strength they have done. That's kind of their point.
That's fair enough.
Seemingly unscalable walls that, by the end of the story, are scalable due to the hero's overwhelming will to save the day. But when you look at it from a versus debate perspective, Doomsday in layman terms is, well, even more absurd.
Apocalypse was a terrifyingly strong foe, but Doomsday's strength, speed, and unkillableness put an end to this apocalyptic foe.
On this darkened day, Apocalypse was doomed to die on this day because of, well, Doomsday.
Yeah,
The
Doomsday.
winner is Doomsday.
I know who you are, but I'm not the one who hurt you.
Superman is Superman, and I will kill you.
Why?
It's what I am. I don't care why.
But again, I'm gonna have to look at it, see a little bit exactly what Apocalypse's powers are. I need to know. Boba Fett versus Hank. Okay. That's a terrible looking version. Okay, that's a good version. PlayStation Japanese games. Okay, that was good. That was I knew Doomsday was going to win this one. I honestly knew it. But again, when it comes to like Apocalypse, I mean, I still don't get it. I mean, it doesn't seem his powers aren't in too clear to me. So I'm later on I'm going to look up what Apocalypse's powers are, and I'm going to see exactly what it does. So there you go. So yeah, I totally saw that coming. Doomsday totally won that one. So if there's anything you guys want me to react to, just see in the comments below, and I'll get to the video as soon as I can. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
And please don't forget to check out my other social medias. Please go and check out my alternative video platforms: Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Twitch, and please come and hang out on my Discord server. We can play games, have a movie night or a series night, or you can watch me play a few games. And if you guys have any suggestions of any videos you want me to react to, or any video ideas in general, you can tell me on my Discord. I'm also on Twitter, Gab, Getter, and Paula. I'm on Locals, Tumblr, Minds, and if you guys want to support me, please go and check out my Subscribe Star. It's like Patreon, but better. All these things are in the description box below, so please go and check them out and subscribe to them. I'm Geek Freak. Peace out.